sympathy. I don't mind, doesn't mean that much to me. Ain't too proud to be, sweet darling, please don't leave me, don't you know? Ain't too proud to plead, baby, baby, please don't leave me, don't you know? When I heard cry, man, is half a man, you know, since.
Hello and welcome to my latest video. Well, this week what I want to talk about is what it's like to live in outer space, because I think it's quite fascinating. Well, outer space is unbelievably boring. I know that because I've seen a video about it and it just looks boring, doesn't it? Looks like what it's like to live in a wardrobe. If you're one of those people that live in a wardrobe, you might like it. But for me personally, I think I'd have to have a massive torch and a stack of books, really, because there's nothing to do there at all. And the reason, I guess, is because there's no life there. When I say life, I don't mean there's no parties. Well, there is no parties, but what I mean is there's none of those microscopic little itchy-witchy things that scientists talk about, meaning proteins, I guess. Proteins that come from carbon. Carbon, right, combines with other atoms, I think, to create atoms, to create proteins. And then most of them are destroyed, of course, but some survive to create microscopic jelly. Now, I don't know if you're a fan of jelly, but I often wonder why is it that they make jelly. I mean, jelly's only really for big occasions, isn't it? I know life is a big occasion. I like it myself. But jelly, I mean, why didn't they make microscopic pancakes or microscopic ice creams? But for some reason they decided to make microscopic jelly. So there's no life out in, well, we haven't found life yet. But who knows, one day we might find a stainless steel bowl on Mars, perhaps, with some microscopic jelly set in the bottom. And that would be interesting, wouldn't it? Depending on whether or not you like jelly. So, where perhaps could they create life in the universe? Well, Mars, basically. That's what scientists are thinking about in the future, creating life on Mars by creating the greenhouse effect, creating these massive greenhouses, and then people will move over there from Earth and colonize Mars. And kids will grow up as Martians, and they'll grow up on a diet of watermelons, hydroponic lettuces, and tomatoes. And yeah, you'll go to a restaurant and that's what will be on the menu. Hydroponic lettuces, tomatoes and watermelons in 150 ways of preparing them. And nothing else really. I can't imagine what else you could grow in a greenhouse. Cucumbers perhaps, zucchinis. Well, what a boring diet it would be. And but anyway, that's what they think they're doing. And so these kids would grow up in greenhouses. No throwing stones, of course, and there would be few javelin throwers that would end up growing up on Mars, and there would be very few clay bird shooters, things like that you just couldn't do. Could have a game of table tennis, but you certainly couldn't do anything too outrageous. So there you go, that's what life would be like on Mars. So just in case you're thinking of moving over to Mars in the distant future. Well, thanks for joining me yet again for another load of absolute garbage. I hope you enjoyed it. Do subscribe, rate my video, and join me next week for more absolute garbage. Thank you. Bye.